Bhutan, the land of the thunder dragon, is an enigma to many people. While it is popular for its association with the dragon, this country, one of the happiest in the world, has many secrets that shock visitors. What makes Bhutan so fascinating that millions of tourists flock there? And what secrets to happiness can you discover in this country? Stay tuned as we bring you life in Bhutan, the happiest country in the world that lives in the dark. Bhutan is an amazing country where the dragon is a huge part of its national identity. The association is so strong that the landlocked jewel is also known as Druk Yul, or Land of the Thunder Dragon. Dragons also feature prominently on the country's flag, art, literature, and national symbols. The lovely people of Bhutan believe a celestial dragon inhabits the high peaks and deep valleys scattered across Bhutan. Many people are aware that Bhutan is a land full of surprises. However, many people will be shocked to know the role marijuana plays in the farming practices of the country. While you are familiar with the majestic Himalayas or the serene monasteries, local farmers have discovered how marijuana could be a game changer for their business of rearing. Marijuana has for many years meant more than just a plant in Bhutan. It is actually celebrated as a multi-purpose tool in farming. In fact, due to its versatility, it is the Swiss Army knife of plants. How the farmers have been using marijuana will blow your mind. For example, did you know that Bhutan farmers feed marijuana to their pigs? Yes, you heard right. Marijuana is a common feed for pigs in that country. They realized that munching on marijuana makes their pigs happier, which many consumers of the herb will agree with. However, another plus side of feeding pigs with marijuana is that it makes them fatter. And this is to the delight of the farmers, as it means more money. This makes marijuana a natural and cheap way of fattening livestock without the need for modern supplements. Meanwhile, marijuana does more than fattening pigs in Bhutan. The plant also makes agriculture more sustainable. Do you wonder how? One factor is that marijuana grows wildly, with no need for any special attention. Farmers don't have to purchase and apply pesticides or fertilizers. This is a huge win for Bhutan farmers, as marijuana thrives in the varied climate of the country. This freely growing plant allows the farmers to reduce their business footprint in eco-friendly practices that help to protect their stunning landscapes. While the top of the plant benefits pigs and the environment, the root is another lucrative source of income for Bhutan farmers. The fibers from the root are established to be durable when processed into textiles. This allows the farmers to enter into the money-spinning business of supplying materials to companies producing traditional Bhutan textiles. However, when will they see the light as to the sustainable and cash benefits of marijuana usage in agriculture? One thing visitors to Bhutan will find even more shocking than feeding marijuana to pigs is the prevalence of phallic symbols in the country. While many societies shy away from even talking about things related to the phallus, one of the quirks of Bhutan is how it is put front and center in their lives. In Bhutan, the phallus is a symbol of good luck, fertility, and protection. Where did this strange culture come from? Scholars have traced it down to one man, aptly nicknamed the Divine Madman. His real name was Lama Drukpa Kunli, and he lived as a Buddhist monk in the 15th century. The Divine Madman was notorious for his unorthodox methods of teaching Buddhism. He employed humor, songs, and lewd and outrageous antics to spread the Buddhist message and make them relatable to the common people. One of the shocking tools he used was the phallus. His quirkiness aside, the Divine Madman is highly esteemed for using his phallus, which he called his thunderbolt of flaming wisdom, to overcome demons and other malevolent spirits. In fact, he miraculously used his phallus to convert these wicked forces into protectors of the Dharma. Today, visitors will be shocked to see phalluses painted on the outside of houses in Bhutan. They might gawk at the 3D figures of phalluses hanging from roofs in full view or carved into wooden pillars. These figures are believed to keep evil spirits at bay and usher in good luck. Even more crazy is how phalluses are depicted in Bhutan. The artists let their imagination run wild with their choices of colors, tending to the whimsical. However, despite the playfulness, the representations are treated with reverence for their jobs as protectors. Due to the demand for phalluses by house owners as objects of protection and good luck charm, phalluses have become integrated into the architectural fabric of the country. Many homes in rural areas adorn their traditional farmhouses with phalluses, where they are often placed above the doorways. Phalluses are also very prominent during festivals and rituals in Bhutan. There is even a festival named the Phallus Festival, and it is actually one of the biggest festivals in the country. The Phallus Festival is held in Chimi Lakhang, in a monastery dedicated to the divine madman. This is a very vibrant and colorful affair involving lots of music and laughter. It also attracts visitors from far and wide who are curious about the shocking culture of openness about the male sexual organ. Visitors are mesmerized by the parade that involves people proudly parading the street, holding huge phallic symbols, and dancing in wild costumes while wearing phallus masks. The festival is believed to bring blessings, fertility, and protection against evil to the participants. But that is not the end. Bhutanese art and craft feature the phallus so much that it might make the uninitiated squirm. They are simply everywhere, from minuscule to large installations. You will find phalluses integrated into items such as amulets, paintings, and sculptures. Again, the artists let their imagination run wild here, as you can find phalluses with stretched wings as if about to take off. You will also find phalluses on wheels, with eyes, painted vivid colors, decorated intricately with patterns, and so much more. These objects are often offered as presents to bring in good luck. Newlyweds in particular receive them as gifts to wish them a happy and fertile union. Many Bhutanese carry small wooden phallus amulets in their pockets or purses for personal protection. These outrageous art pieces are available to visitors as souvenirs, and the locals don't bat an eyelid marketing them to potential buyers. And while many people want to be happy, they might be shocked to learn how seriously the landlocked country takes the pursuit of happiness as a nation. Bhutan is about the only country that actively seeks to measure the level of happiness of its people. Nowhere else will you find a national policy named the Gross National Happiness (GNH) Index. Bhutanese can be proud of their philosophy of happiness, which is revered even more than the popular metrics of wealth. While other countries chase after figures that show economic progress and prosperity, the index prioritizes the collective happiness and well-being of the country's citizens. The GNH Index is so crucial that it is woven into the major governmental policies and influences the government's approach to enhancing the quality of life, preserving cultural values, environmental conservation, and even enhancing good governance. The GNH Index was introduced by King Jigme Singye Wangchuck in the 70s. The concept is based on four things: sustainable development, preserving and promoting cultural values, natural environment conservation, and ensuring good governance. So how does Bhutan measure happiness? The concept might be strange or impossible to the average Westerner, but the government has found a way. Happiness is quantified with 9 domains. These involve psychological well-being, health, education, how time is spent, cultural diversity and resilience, good governance, community vitality, ecological diversity and resilience, and standards of living. Bhutan uses all of these to formulate a comprehensive model of what a fulfilling life looks like, something simplistic measures like GDP cannot achieve. The importance placed on the GNH Index is shown in the fact that every policy proposed in Bhutan undergoes the GNH Index treatment or screening process. This means the policy is evaluated based on their potential contribution to the GNH Index before they are implemented. This approach helps the government to ensure developments are holistic, sustainable, and most importantly, contribute to national happiness. One of the core concepts of the GNH Index is environmental conservation, which is not taken lightly in the Thunder Dragon country. Bhutan enjoys the rare privilege of being not just carbon neutral, but carbon negative. This means the country absorbs more CO2 than it generates. Bhutan is proud to say the achievement is directly due to policies inspired by the GNH Index. Something that will delight fans of environment conservation is the fact that more than 60% of Bhutan's territory is covered in forest. This status is covered by law to ensure the preservation of biodiversity and combat climate change. Other policies of the GNH Index ensure Bhutan uses its environment responsibly by using electricity produced by hydroelectric stations, promoting sustainable agriculture, and promoting conservation efforts. Another area where the national happiness comes into play is cultural preservation. The citizens of many countries complain about the loss of their cultural values and diversity, but not Bhutan. Bhutan, thanks to the GNH Index, is the textbook case of how modernization and cultural values can coexist in harmony. The government spearheads the preservation of traditional dress, language, music, and customs. They are actively celebrated and integrated into daily life. This means the Bhutanese identity remains strong and intact, contributing to the collective happiness of the citizenry. Another unique contribution of the GNH is good governance. Bhutan emphasizes transparency, accountability, and fairness at every level of government. This has ensured that the government actively contributes to the well-being and happiness of its people. This is still the case even after the country transitioned into a democratic constitutional monarchy in 2008. Many of these videos' viewers have a complaint or two about the education and health systems of their countries. Bhutan sees these two key aspects of life as very crucial and ties them to the GNH Index. As a result, Bhutan provides holistic education to its citizens that includes emotional and cultural learning. The country's robust healthcare system is also available to all, as opposed to the case of getting better healthcare based on personal wealth, which is the case in other countries. Tackling these two issues helps Bhutan to produce well-rounded individuals who make positive contributions to society. Also important to national happiness in Bhutan is community vitality. Sense of belonging and community participation are rated highly as contributors to happiness. As such, festivals like the Phallus Festival, community gatherings, and traditional sports are much more than just cultural events, but vital functions that keep the society as one and foster a sense of unity and well-being. Step into the world of Bhutan's wildlife and receive multiple shocks as a visitor. Have you heard of the takin? The best and most vivid way to introduce it is to imagine a creature that seems to have been assembled from parts of several animals. Takin, as peculiar as it is the national animal of Bhutan. It is a unique bovine that possesses the body of a cow but the head of a goat. This strange creature can be found roaming the high-altitude regions of the eastern Himalayas as if putting on display the whimsicality of nature. They inhabit protected areas such as the Motathang Takin Preserve in Thimphu. You can view these interesting animals today, but legend has it that the takin was created by the divine madman by combining the bones of a cow and a goat. Bhutan seems to be the land of animals with mismatched body parts, as the binturong or bearcat has also fascinated visitors. In fact, the binturong is so unique that it defies conventional categorization. This creature can be said to possess the traits of various animals while not belonging to any of them. The binturong has shaggy black hair that is sometimes streaked with silver and wiry whiskers like an unkempt wizard. The face looks like something a weasel and teddy bear would conceive together. Visitors are also intrigued by its eyes, which seem to hold deep wisdom of the forest. The binturong has a long and heavy body, resting on short, stout legs. Perhaps the most distinctive feature of the binturong is the prehensile tail, which is almost as long as the rest of the body. It allows the animal to grasp and balance on tree branches while moving on the top canopy of the forest. This fifth limb is so strong that it can support the binturong's weight as it sleeps while hanging upside down. Another quirky feature of the binturong is how it can rotate its rear paws 180 degrees. This allows the animal to climb down trees head first, a rare trait among mammals. The binturong's diet is as varied as fruits, eggs, insects, and even small animals like frogs. Perhaps the most peculiar characteristic of this animal is its scent. No need to turn up your nose in disgust, though, as this wonderful creature smells like buttered popcorn. Wait till hear the source of the aroma, a compound in the animal's urine. While smelling nice, the purpose of the scent is to communicate and mark territory. Bhutan's wildlife, however, is not as fascinating as the people, especially its festivals. These festivals are known as chekus. They are a potpourri of color, music, and dance where monks and ordinary people come together in their finest attires. Apart from the Phallus Festival, Bhutan is known for the Parochechu, which occurs in the spring. This iconic celebration's highlight is the revelation of the massive Thangka, a painting that is sacred in Buddhism and believed to impart a blessing to everybody viewing it. But the largest festival in Bhutan is the Thimphu Chechu, which takes place in autumn. The capital city comes alive with days of celebration that involve dance performances, religious rituals, and impressive mask dances. The dances transcend entertainment as they are a form of meditation and sacrifices to the gods. They also symbolize the triumph of good over evil. The dancers don flamboyant masks representing deities, animals, or fearsome characters as they move in precise and symbolic gestures that have been passed down through generations. Smaller chechus also draw curious visitors to the villages and monasteries where the locals celebrate the changing seasons and pray for the well-being of the community. Even before visitors get to the amazing wildlife of Bhutan, they are dazzled by the capital city Thimphu. However, the surprise is not what you expect. Thimphu is probably the only capital city in the world without traffic lights. This, however, doesn't mean drivers can use the roads as they deem fit. Thanks to the smooth blending of modernity and tradition, visitors are always wowed by the simplicity of the seat of government. Imagine strolling down the streets of Thimphu. You feel strange that you are not swallowed up in the world of fast-moving, bleeping cars, commanded to a stop by garish red and green signals that you are accustomed to in other capital cities. Instead, you see policemen directing traffic from inside ornately decorated booths with hand signals. And no, this is not due to being technologically backward. It is a conscious decision made by the government, with the support of the citizens. There is a legend that the city once experimented with traffic lights, but abandoned them because locals felt it was too impersonal and not compatible with the Bhutanese way of life. Thimphu, as a city, has embraced modernity, but on its own terms, unlike other capitals of the world, where skyscrapers, neon signs, and endless streams of traffic are the order of the day. The city is planned with an emphasis on environmental sustainability and cultural preservation. Visitors will marvel at the harmony between nature and humans. There are a lot of green spaces and an abundance of fresh air. Markets sell local produce while craftspeople hawk wares that are inspired by Bhutan's rich cultural heritage. Thimphu is far from stuck in the past. It is a hub for education, governance, and economic activities, as you would expect of any capital city. The more you explore Bhutan, the more you appreciate this majestic, landlocked country. The land of the Thunder Dragon offers lots of lush valleys with the purest of air and the most spectacular of views. One of the most iconic landmarks of Bhutan is the Tiger's Nest Monastery, situated in the Paro Valley. This monastery is a sight to behold, perching at the edge of a 3,000-foot cliff. Hiking to the Tiger's Nest is the mother of adventures, taking you through whispering pine forests and misty mountain paths. Prayer flags flail in the wind, imposing a touch of color over nature's green canvas. Venture further, and you will arrive at the Punkha Dzong, one of the most beautiful in Bhutan. A dzong is a kind of fortified monastery architecture majorly found in Bhutan and Tibet. These structures are massive, with very tall exterior walls surrounding a complex of courtyards, temples, administrative offices, and monks' accommodation. This dzong is situated at the confluence of the Pho Chiu and Mo Chechu rivers. It is a stunningly massive example of Bhutanese architecture that flawlessly blends the building with the environment. This dzong especially comes alive in the spring when the lavender jacaranda trees bloom fully, creating an unforgettable scene.